All the examples of KMAPs we have done so far have been focused on using midterms, finding groupings of ones. The same can be done that we can use the KMAP to solve Maxterms, where we're going to group zeros. The process ends up being exactly the same. The only difference would be of how we are going to write out our results. So when we group ones, this is midterms. We're going to get a sum of products result. When we group zeros, we're going to do the max terms. That will lead us to a product of sum result. All right, so let's start something with 4 variables. And with this 4 variable KMAP, let's put in a couple of zeros and don't cares, and let's see what we can solve. So let's throw in a few zeros. Let's put in a couple of don't cares. And let's see what we can create. All right, so let's start looking at these items. Items that we kind of want to look at is, do we have anything that has a single grouping? In this setup, everything has multiple groups. There's not one that has only one option. So we usually start by looking at the largest groupings. Kind of where I want to focus on to begin with is this zero up here, because this zero up here has a group of 4 it can do, and then it has a group of 2, and it's only going to be used that one time. So let's get rid of it first. Largest grouping, we do group of 4. Okay, so we're going to write this out. Remember, we're going to start putting stuff in parentheses because this is going to be a product of sums. Now remember, we're in A0, and it's 0. There is no bar on product of sums. So it's A, B is a 1, so that would be B bar. And then we use every value of C and D, so that is removed. Okay, the next item that we're going to be looking at is, let's focus on this 0 down here. To clear out that item, we can do a group of 4. Okay, so let's do that item. What's staying the same? Well, A is a 0, so that's an A. B change from a 0 to a 1. And then we have C that stays a 1, so that would be C a bar. Okay, next item, I'm going to look at this other 0 down here at the corner. All right, I'm going to do a group of 4 for that. Okay, what do I end up coming up with? Is I come up with B is a 1, so that's B bar. And we have a 1 for C, so that's C bar. Now, when we go with this item, we have different options. I can do an option of taking the row. That row would be a group of 4. Or I could do the option of taking a group of 4, like in the box that we have done for the other 2. You pick one of them. You don't need to do both. For this one, let's go ahead and do this row so we have something different that we're setting up. We use every value of A and B. So I have a 0 for C, so that's C, and I have a 1 for D, so that would be a D bar. All right, and then these 4 terms, that makes up this sum of products max term KMAP. All right, let's do one more example. Let's do a 5 variable example. I'm going to do it as 2 KMAPs next to each other. All right, let me do an A of 0, an A of 1, a B, C, D, E, B, C, D, E, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. All right, so let me throw in a couple of zeros and a couple of don't cares, and let's see what we end up having. All right, so let's say we have these items. All right, so where we're going to start. Remember, we want to start with items that have only one option. All right, so items that have only one option. So we're looking at this, and we see that the one that's going to pop up first is going to be this zero down here. This zero down here, if we look at what it can be grouped with, it can be grouped only with this x, or it can be grouped with this x over here. So we have options on how that could be grouped with. We had nothing that really stands out of only one option. Everything has a couple options. So let's start off by dealing with this outlier down here. So I'll go ahead and group across so we can see how we group across. All right, so I use both A, so A's out. B and C are 1, 0. So that's a B bar or a C. And then we use D and E. D's 1, so that's D bar, and E's a 0, so that's an E. Okay, so that takes care of that term. Next item is this one down here can only be grouped with the 0 above it. So let's take care of that one. Here we're on the A equal 1 KMAP, so we have an A bar. B and C are both 0, 0, so that's a B or a C. And then we keep E, which is a 1, so that becomes an E bar. All right, then we keep looking for larger connections. Well, we can take care of these zeros here. They connect, so we'll connect those together by using both A KMAP, so A gets removed. We have B and C both being 1, so that's B bar plus a C bar. And then we have E, which is a 1, so that gives us an E bar. And then the last one that we're going to have is this 0 and X can be grouped, but I have two don't cares on the other side that I can use together. So I connect all 4 of those together as well. All right, so let's see what that would be. We're using both A, so A gets kicked out. We're on the column of 0, 1, so that's a B plus a C bar. And then we have E that remains a 0, so that's an E. So there's another example of how we can solve for a product of sum result.